Hello, and welcome to Embrace Her Evolution. This podcast celebrates the limitless power within every woman. I'll be your host, Amanda Aguilar. I'm an Emmy Award-winning TV news reporter, an empowerment speaker, a mental health advocate, and your biggest cheerleader. Together, we'll embrace the twists and turns of life, from personal growth to relationships, career aspirations, and everything in between. If you're trying to level up, if you're ready to rediscover that confidence you lost, if you want to learn how to create a life you love and deserve, then stick around. Embrace Her Evolution will give you the insight and tools to bridge the gap between knowing better and doing better. I am so excited to join you on this incredible journey. So buckle up, babe. It is time to embrace your evolution. Good morning, everyone. You know what? I just realized some of y'all might not be listening to this in the morning. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What is freaking good? I hope y'all are having a good week. I have a lot of energy right now. It's my day off, but here I am awake at like 5:30 in the morning. You know, that's like the one thing that sucks about being a morning reporter. For those that don't know, I'm a morning reporter. So I wake up every day at 1:45 in the morning, get to work at 3:30. But on my days off, especially when they fall on a weekday like today, I can't sleep in. I just can't sleep in for the life of me. So today I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, took Cooper out, and realized I have so much energy. And I was like, you know what? Let me record this second episode of Embrace Your Evolution. Also, I've really been looking forward to recording this episode because it's an important topic, the sisterhood wound. We're going into that. And the sisterhood wound, it is not talked about enough. And that's because not a lot of people even know what it is and that it actually exists. I know for me, before I started my healing journey, I didn't even know what a sisterhood wound was. But every woman has a sisterhood wound. I mentioned a few seconds ago that I was really looking forward to recording this episode because during this whole launch process, I already knew I wanted to do an episode about the sisterhood wound. I've known I wanted to do this episode back in like June, July, early summer. And it's because of this event I went to. It was called Sorry Poppy. I went with my best friend Myrrh. And it was an all-girl event, y'all. No boys allowed. It was a reggaeton event, all-girl DJs, all girls there. And it was so much fun. And before I went to Sorry Poppy, I was already on social media like super hyped about it. Just I couldn't stop talking about it. And then after the event, I was back on social media talking about it, how fun it was, but I was also really celebrating a win. This was a huge win for me going to this all-girl event because it showed me that I really am doing the work to heal my sisterhood wound. Because believe it or not, old Amanda would have never ever attended an all-girls event. You know what? I may have attended, but it would not have been the same experience. I would have went to this all-girls event, but I would be hating on every woman I saw, every woman I felt threatened by. It may be hard to believe because this is a women empowerment podcast, but I was not always about women empowerment. 3-4 years ago, I was not about supporting other women, and it's because I had such a deep sisterhood wound. So in this episode, I'm really about to spill the tea on myself. We are really going to talk about the sisterhood wound and how it showed up in my life and how it might be showing up in yours as well. Also, how I started to heal the sisterhood wound and what my life looks like right now. And then, of course, I'll end the episode with some prompts to help you figure out where in your life that sisterhood wound is showing up. Before we get into all of that, I want to start with this quote I saw somewhere on social media. I don't know who said it, but it's so true. It says, "You can always tell who the strong women are. They are the ones you see building one another up instead of tearing each other down." it's so crazy because I feel like it's normal to see other women hating on other women because it's been happening for decades. Women tearing each other down, it isn't new. It goes back years and years. And because it's so normalized, I grew up thinking that hating on other women, being jealous of another woman, wishing on the downfall of another woman, that was just normal. That was just life. But it's not normal. I was doing that because I was so hurt inside. And like I said, I had such a deep sisterhood wound. And this wound came out in a lot of different ways throughout my life. The first being, I was always jealous of girls and always judging them. I didn't even have to know the girl to feel this way towards them. I could just see them across the room or see them on social media, do not even know them, and I would still get triggered by them. Before, I used to look at a girl and think, ugh, I'm so much better than them. Or I think, oh, they're better than me. How do they deserve to have that? Why don't I have that? And then that just led me to gossiping about other women to my friends. And I would say mean things about women. Oh my gosh, I'm not proud of that. And it's because I felt good about myself when I was tearing another woman down. And this really came out in social settings. For example, being at the club or maybe being at the bar. I would constantly roll my eyes anytime I saw a girl that I was triggered by. I was always hating on a girl, maybe for their outfit, maybe for how they were dancing. But in reality, I wasn't hating on them because they had a nice outfit or they had some good moves. I was threatened by them. I was threatened by their confidence because I lacked confidence. That was something I wanted. They exuded this energy that I didn't have. Now, the next way the sisterhood wound had shown up in my life, I'm not proud of it, but I'm also not afraid to admit it because I've already given myself enough grace and compassion to know I just didn't know better. Now, it doesn't excuse my actions, but I was hurting inside and I just wasn't happy with myself. The sisterhood wound showed up in my life through a lack of respect that I had for other women. And I always looked at every woman as competition. And this actually caused me to flirt with guys who had girlfriends. And I didn't ever consider their feelings because I was so hurt inside from a woman figure in my life who betrayed me. So I just projected that out onto another woman and hurting them. And don't get me wrong, I did have a group of friends. I had girlfriends. But at the same time, I never wanted to add to that circle of girlfriends. I didn't want to get to know other girls. I only trusted a few girls. And if a new girl wanted to enter my life, they had to prove that they're trustworthy. Again, because I experienced betrayal before, and that's how we develop a sisterhood wound is because a woman figure in our life betrayed us, taught us that we can't trust another woman. And that's how I operated since then. This next one might trigger some people, but I ask you to sit with that feeling and ask yourself why. I was the girl who always said, I just don't like other girls. I don't get along with other girls. Like, I just get along with way more guys. Again, because I just couldn't trust other women. Actually, I remember my guy friends. I have a big group of guy friends. They're practically my brothers. We grew up with each other. We all know each other's family. And in college, when they'd have a kick it or a party or whatever, beforehand, they would always text me or call me and they would be like, hey, Amanda, by the way, I'm bringing this girl. So be nice, play nice. One time, one of them said, play nice because they knew how catty I could get, the looks I could give another girl if I felt threatened by her. Or at least back then, I thought it was because I just didn't get along with girls. And mind you, again, I didn't know these were signs of a sisterhood wound. I didn't know that until I started doing the work. And once I became aware of it, I knew I needed to start healing this wound because one, I was freaking tired, y'all. I was tired of being jealous of every woman that I saw. I also was over the mean girl act. I hated that. I just wanted to be a friendly person because inside I am a friendly person. And lastly, part of me really craved community. We all want that. I wanted a sisterhood. As much as I love my guys, my brothers, I really wanted a sisterhood. And so I started doing the work to heal my sisterhood wound. And the first thing I had to do, the most important thing you need to do in order to heal your sisterhood wound, is love yourself. I had to develop self love, which I for sure lacked. Self love is truly the key to everything. When I started developing self love, I became much more confident. I became more confident in who I am, what I have to offer the world. And that really did help when I would feel jealous of other women. I also became open to being a part of a community. I became open to getting to know other girls. When I joined Asia's self love program, I became a part of a community. I started meeting digitally or even in person. I started meeting other like minded women who were doing the work, who were going through a lot of the same things I was going through, or they already went through it and they were able to come out much stronger. So they served as an inspiration to me. And I love now still being a part of Asia's community. I'm also a part of the She Is Made for More community here in the Central Valley. When I moved here, I wanted to go to a self-love event and they had this Galentine's Day event. And I met even more women who are doing the work and who get it. And so these communities have truly helped me through my own evolution. And these communities show me it's a sign that I am healing my sisterhood wound. And if I'm being honest, healing the sisterhood wound has made me a much more happy person. It has brought so much joy into my life. I'm empowered. I'm more authentic because I started healing that sisterhood wound. I have so many amazing women in my life now. Some I've only known for maybe 2 years, some I've only known for maybe 6 months, but they are such a blessing in my life. It's a blessing to know them, it's a blessing to be supported by them. And it's all because I started doing the work to heal this wound. My life has truly transformed since I started doing the work as well. I can look at girls and rarely feel threatened. And if I do feel triggered, I ask myself, okay, where is this coming from? Is it fear? Is it shame? What action is this feeling asking me to take? What is this other woman showing me that I also desire? A huge win for me is I really make an effort to stay away from gossip. I'm lucky to have in my life some women that also don't enjoy gossiping, but I'm not perfect. I'm still healing, I'm still growing. So there might be a time I find myself in the middle of a conversation where I'm gossiping or maybe my friend is gossiping, but I can quickly become aware of it and remove myself from that conversation or end that conversation. I also really love seeing women succeed, like genuinely love seeing women succeed because I don't see them as my competition anymore. Because I started healing my sisterhood wound, I don't have to unscrew another woman's light bulb in order to shine. I can be a glowing woman helping other women glow and still be freaking lit. And instead of looking at women as competition, I just surround myself with other women and look at that as an opportunity for connection and collaboration. And I was really able to do that when I had Asia as my self love coach. I trusted her to guide me and to support me. And remember earlier, I said I could not trust other women. And like I said, that just put me in a community of other amazing women. I was able to attract women who think like me and understand what it's like to do this uncomfortable work. Now, you might be sitting down and thinking, I don't I don't think I have those kind of women in my life. How come I don't have those high quality women in my life? And I ask you to look at yourself. How are you treating other women? How do you look at other women? Do you look at them as competition or do you look at them as inspiration, connection, collaboration? And really, because I have such an amazing circle of girls in my life, they're the ones that encouraged me when I had this idea of making a podcast. And hello, I would have never created a women empowerment podcast if I didn't heal the sisterhood wound. So, like this episode title says, ladies, we need to heal our sisterhood wounds because we need to stick together. We got to stop tearing each other down. And I would love to help you start healing those sisterhood wounds. I have a few prompts that you can answer in your journal. Feel free to pause the episode and answer as I go, or just write them all down and then come back to it when you have time. The first prompt: in which ways and areas of your life has the sisterhood wound shown up the most? In which ways and areas of your life has the sisterhood wound shown up the most? If you want, you can go back in this episode when I talk about how the sisterhood wound showed up in my own life and see if you resonate with any of that. The second prompt: which women in your life do you admire and why? And I really like this prompt because the most effective way we can begin to heal the sisterhood wound is by lifting another woman up. So really think, who in your life, what woman in your life do you really admire and why do you admire them? The last prompt: which areas of your life can you support other women in a more loving way? Which areas of your life can you support other women in a more loving way? I hope these prompts are helpful in identifying where the sisterhood wound is showing up in your life and what actions you can do to start help healing it. And I'll end this episode with a reminder by Amy Morin: be the woman who fixes another woman's crown without telling the world it was crooked. Thank you so much for tuning in to Embrace Her Evolution. If you loved this episode, or maybe you have a few more questions, feel free to hit me up about it. I have my email in the episode description. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for my email list. This will keep you up to date on everything Embrace Her Evolution. Plus, it will give you access to some free worksheets. Right now, I'm offering a jealousy map worksheet. I talk about this in episode 3. So if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it now. It will help you use the feeling of jealousy as a map to your desires. I truly believe a way to embrace your evolution is by sitting by yourself and doing reflection, and these worksheets will help you get started. Once again, you can find a link to that in the episode description. You'll also find my Instagram there. I love connecting with people, so make sure you give me a follow. And from the bottom of my heart, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your evolution.